and I'm really excited to know that Hunter's going to be able to give his side of what was said, but then Carmelo's also going to be able to give his side, so we can actually see what actually was said, what actually were they saying. I really hope he testifies. I don't know if he's going to, but I think that's huge.
Is it my go?
No, it's AK.
AK, I'm going to All right, thanks.
So I just want to give my stance on it. My opinion. Monica, people gonna talk about it, right? It's a volatile case. It's gonna happen. So, but I agree with you.
AK, he's on low. He's on low.
Oh, now I sound low. What about now?
That's
Much better, thank you.
much better.
All right. I'm at my kids' school. Oh, what up, Joey? Yeah. Well, so when it comes to the Metcalf shit, right? I feel like Metcalf didn't deserve to die in the way he did, right? I also part of me is like he fucked around and found out. Sorry to say, but I tell my kids not to bother people, right? Now we got like Monica said, we don't know the facts, so we don't really know if he was being bothered or bothering and Carmelo. But from face value, it looks like he told him to get out from underneath the tent. You could act like that's him being a nice guy. Free said you would have done the same thing. No, like it's raining, motherfuckers under the tent. Big deal. As far as how many tents, it's according to what time of the event it was, how many people put up their tents. But all in all, start raining, motherfucker go into your tent. It's fucking to get out the rain, right? Especially in these track events, people share tents all the time. Rain comes out of nowhere. Same thing with soccer, right? At the end of the day, when the when the kid reacts the way he did, I'm all for proportional um, reaction, whatever the term is, um, proportional force. I'm for that, right? I'm gonna tell my kid, somebody do something to you, try to react in a certain way, right? Don't just jump to the most deadly force, right? And I think that's everybody. I think to me it's really clear cut. It's two kids that lost their life in this case. Would you say who's that? What did you say? All right. Um, I think that it's two kids that lost their life in this in a sense, right? One lost their life for real. The other one is most likely going to be locked up. If not, he's going to be, in the eyes of the law, he's going to be a problem, right? It's going to be attention, controversy surrounding him, right? So we should look at it like one kid, a teenager, made a rash decision. I'm sure, in my eyes, I think he didn't mean to kill the kid, right? But his actions were stupid, and that's what it boils down to. Thank you.
Thanks, AK.
Alright, you fucking guys are all liars. Oh, let's wait for the evidence. Look, you've been exposed to something, you don't control your thoughts, you have a position, you can call it tentative, but you have a fucking position. You can't say look but don't look but don't look. The kid's guilty of something, okay? If I was a juror, it'd be at least manslaughter, because you can't fucking just kill people, right? So that's the thing. But I just don't feel bad for the guy that died. And I don't know why I feel that way. Because he seems like a fucking bully. He seems like somebody that let this be known to all the fucking pigs out there in the fucking world. You can't just walk up to people and think you're gonna get away with it. The kid's done it before. I bet my life on it. He's a fucking punk ass bitch that's used to being the fucking big kid, the big fat guy that wants to fucking fuck around with little kids, and he found out, bro. Unfortunately, the fucking kid overreacted through his fucking life way. Let's wait for the evidence. Shut the fuck up. Evidence my fucking nuts. You have a position right now. Okay? Can something change it? Yes. Guess what? It hasn't come yet. As far as it is right now, someone died. Right? And someone died because someone tried to be a fucking punk ass bitch bully. So all the bullies in the fucking world, be afraid. Because hopefully there's more people like that. I fucking hate bullies. And this guy fucking found out. So fuck the guy that died. And the guy that fucking killed him, fuck him too then too. Fuck it. It's all good.
No, that was so valuable. Appreciate that brilliant insight.
No, yours is. Let's not look but look. Let's not have a position but have a position. That's what the fuck you said. I saw pictures, but I don't have a position. You don't shit. You're just sticking up
I
for
don't
him.
know
Like,
shit. That's what
I
you
know
think.
you don't.
That's what you
don't.
think.
Oh,
That I view the world through a racial lens. I view the world through a racial lens.
Race. It's so weird.
Because you just said it. You mentioned it, Mike. You're just supporting your fucking point. What a reductive caveman you are. You fucking asshole. Of course. Fuck Charlie Kirk too. It's nothing new. I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't. You probably got beat up by a guy like him when you were a kid. You probably projected. That's right. That's right. Because zero conflict resolution skills is the way to navigate the world.
Yo, can I have a
Hey, you know what? He died to teach his brother a fucking lesson. There it is. Fuck you. Yeah,
Alright, this is what I'm like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But I hope no one ever treats you like you treat other people, Mike.
The way I've been treated. I know these kind of people.
Cause it sucks.
I remember these fucking kids in school.
You just said that I
was never fucking big in my life. I
gave
know
my
these
logic
fucking
and
kids.
reason because
I
of
know
race.
these fucking honky
That's
kids.
bullshit.
I know them. I know how they react. I fucking know them.
Why are you so
I know their kind. The fuck you talking about? I fucking know them. I hope. It's too late. It's already happened.
Is there anybody else?
All right. Okay. No, the queue's done. The queue's done. Real quick, guys. Good conversation. It don't need to go this way. Opinion is opinion. We ain't gotta take these opinions fucking personally. I don't. As far as I know, nobody in this room is related to the niggas. So let's just enjoy the intellectual part of this, not the emotional part of
That
this.
he didn't want to make an impression. That he didn't want to be thought of as a thug. That he didn't want to be a thug for street credit and potentials. That's fine.
Okay, hold on.
You're not hurting me, Mike.
Bully.
All I said was, I hope he didn't.
Bully.
That's fine.
You're pig bully.
That's fine.
Bully, pig, bully, pig, bully, pig, bully. Pig, bully, pig, bully. Pig, bully, pig, bully. Pig, bully, and me.
Where is the love? Okay, real quick, guys. Can we just hear some from some human voices?
And
Fucked around and he found out. But the other side too is like, you don't know Carmelo's story. At the end of the day, it's like, the fuck is his story gonna change anything? My man killed somebody because he tried to press him. And I understand too, like from a world perspective, I agree with, I forgot we spoke before, but you gotta teach your kids, like, you can't try to be that enforcer type unless you really, you shouldn't, because like you will get somebody out there that's gonna fucking press you or do some crazy shit for no reason. Like some people out there literally have nothing to live for, so they'll dead ass just crash out and you might just be the victim. And it might have just been literally just by fate it was you. It might have been somebody else, but in this instance it was you. So you can't try to press people and try to bully people and do certain things. And unfortunately in this situation, this is where it ended up. It could have just been another, and I'm sure there's plenty of these situations out there. It's just this case in particular became a nationwide case. But bro, like you can't be moving like that. You can't press people. You can't try to be an enforcer because you know who you're dealing with. And at the same time, just because somebody presses you doesn't fucking mean you kill them. You know? So it's like,
wait, do you think he wanted to kill him?
It's not about whether you wanted to kill him or not. Why the fuck are you stabbing somebody?
Intent doesn't matter?
It's not that intent doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is, okay, I'll go this far. I'll bring it back, right? Because obviously intent matters. But why are you stabbing people?
Why? Listen, bro, why are niggas getting bullied? You know people kill themselves off of getting bullied. You know that.
We're gonna wrap up this part. We're gonna wrap up this part. If you don't ask, you never get. Okay.
We're gonna wrap up this part of the thing, this discussion by saying this. How many people are there in the United States of America?
330 million.
Oh, 330 million. Okay, so I'm gonna say that I have to amend my argument that 330 million people, that no one believed there could be a conviction in the Senate. I have to reduce that to only 299 million on that. But thank you, William.
You're saying that nobody else thought that there might be a chance that the senators might fairly review the evidence.
The people who introduced the articles of impeachment knew that they weren't going to get a conviction. That's the point.
Or else they would have followed the process all the way.
That's right. That's why
there wouldn't have been complaining in the media about how Republican officials were allowed to dodge subpoenas. Because if they'd had a formal vote for impeachment inquiry, per the Justice Department, per people like Neil Gorsuch, it ups the seriousness of the subpoena. It allows Congress extra power. And they didn't take it seriously enough to take that vote and get the extra power.
That's exactly right. They weren't serious about it. William, you're the only person in the United States of America who was serious about it. None of the people involved in the process were serious about it. We just saw the evidence of it presented by Marshall. None of them. They didn't believe that they were going to get a conviction. They were just trying to score political points and embarrass. You know, just like they tried to embarrass Clinton. For the blue stain dress. Okay, fine. So mission accomplished.
The number of independents.
I gotta get to you next. I gotta get to you next. And you are next. Thank you, William. Go ahead, Chuck. You're up. You're up.
Yeah, the number of independents has surged in the U.S. The number of people that are more disillusioned with our form of government, and that is a number that has increased year after year. So I think we do have to take a step back. If we had good leadership, which is something that El Normo was trying to state, like there would be good reasons to be defensive against Iran, and if we had good leadership, it would have been a justified statement that would have been shared, and they would have shepherded everyone in, and we would have all been like united, and we would have felt like, yes, this is definitely a justified position to be in.
He is the
Walk away from.
He is the
Walk away from.
He is the healthiest president in the history of the United States. You never lied. You never lied. You never lied.
He's not too heavy.
Am I
He doesn't
getting
drink too much Diet Coke.
Sorry, am I getting interrupted?
Sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
okay. Well, if I'm going to get interrupted, maybe I should speak.
Okay. Well, that's the attitude you're going to take. Fine. Dr. Francine, followed by Old Raj. Dr. Francine.
I didn't realize my hand was up. I have nothing to say on this subject.
Not only did you not realize your hand was up, you didn't realize you were on the stage.
No, I had no idea that I was on the stage. And here's what I believe, since I am up here.
This is pretty funny. I like it.
You guys were yelling at each other so loudly that I could not understand what anybody was saying. And I guess my comment is we aren't going to fix anything if we can't even talk to each other in a fairly decent tone of voice.
Okay, I'll help you with that. I apologize, and I'll help you with that. Marshall and I were correct, and William was wrong. That's all you need to know.
That's usually.
I mean, I'm just trying to codify it for you because you missed it. But had you been able to hear what we were saying, you would say that Marshall and I were right and William was wrong, and and move on. So I'm just trying to make it easy for you.
Okay, so let me just add by saying that we have lots of things that are threatening us right now, and that they're not the only things are not oil reserves, gas prices, and midterms, but the whole idea of AI and what's happening to jobs and people and electric power connections is another huge issue. And if you want me to tell you whether Donald Trump will win in the midterms, I think the unfortunate thing is we are stuck with him. You know, he's not on the ballot, so no one's going to get rid of him, and we're stuck with him. And you can see why I didn't raise my hand. I usually try to have something of substance.
That was fine. There was substance. There was substance and all that. Especially when you decided you agreed with Marshall and me. You would never put words in your mouth, of course.
Marshall usually knows his stuff.
Marshall does, but I don't. I see what's going on here. Is there a mutiny?
Gary, you have been on laughing gas for the last 2 days.
I know, and you know what? I at least enjoy my humor.
You're
Nobody
having
else
much too much fun.
Well, I am at least having fun. Now, if the rest of you come along and chuckle along with me, that's great. If you get frustrated like John did yesterday, well, that's your problem.
I like this question. Is Christy Brinkley taller than you?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So could that be why she married Billy Joel?
he's not taller than me. He's not. She towers over Billy. Can't put
So it wasn't height. I was.
Could have been another measurement. It could have been another measurement. I don't know. I'm not saying. Could have been another measurement, but it was not height. All right. Thank you, Dr. Francine. It's a very serious conversation we're having here, ladies and gentlemen.
You have totally relieved me of my dignity.
No, it's my dignity we're talking about here, not yours.
See, I told you, you are on laughing gas, and you were on laughing gas yesterday, too. What's this deal? You find everything funny.
Not everything, but, you know, I think that we're under so much stress in our life that sometimes, I mean, this is what we do in the newsroom. We joke about things. I swear to God, if you walked into our newsroom, you would probably...
So I don't know if I have the breadth of the whole topic, but yes, oil reserves are low, gas prices are definitely up. I'm going to make a prediction, not too eventful, but the Dems will control the House. It'll be a tie, or Republicans will hold on to the Senate. And I'm assuming there will be some new impeachment hearings that'll come up. I would like to see it specifically pertaining to the emoluments clause, which he breaks every day in the Constitution. And I'd say right now that's all I got, because I don't know the genesis of anything else y'all are talking about. Thank you.
Thank you much. We're going to Meryl, followed by Andrew.
I missed almost the entire show so far. I came in when you guys were talking about the difference between you and Billy Joel. So I think that's a little off topic, right?
Uptown Girl. See, I got it.
Okay. Okay. What are okay? Gas, oil prices. Okay, oil reserves low, gas prices high. So is this about midterms? Is that what it's about? Is that what you're asking? What we think about what's going to happen?
It could be, sure. I'll the picture, sure.
Well, I think Marshall would agree with me on this one. If the Democrats stay on the right message, in the middle, leaning a little left or a little right, and do not go far left at all, don't go anywhere near the left, and just talk about the economy, and maybe don't even mention impeachment. I think that the Democrats have a chance at the House. I don't know, maybe the Senate, I don't know, but maybe the House. But I think Marcia would agree, Marcia will agree with me, they've got to stay on the right message. Is that where, am I close? Is that what we're talking about?
When we're not talking about Christy Brinkley and me and my crashing and burning when I tried to steal it away from Billy Joel, yeah.
He lost her anyways.
That's great, but not to me.
Well, there's
It doesn't matter if she didn't lose her to me.
Just look at your head. You still have more hair than he does. Okay?
Well, that's true.
That's for you. Yeah, that's a big deal. Okay, so is that what you're talking about? Do we think that?
Yeah, that could be what we're talking about. I've lost the train of thought of the whole thing myself. We're talking about all these things coming together. It's like a perfect storm of problems. And how is the president dealing with them? How is the world dealing with them? How are we all individually dealing with them?
Well, individually, I can't speak. I can only speak about myself and the people I talk to. And it's very interesting. I talked to one of my family members who says that she and her husband do not want to talk anymore to people that are like-minded, that are just like them, because it's depressing, because you're all talking about the same thing, you're all agreeing, and you wind up going, oh gee, and maybe it'd be, not to talk about, maybe to see if there's somebody else that thinks differently, and maybe I get you riled up. And I think that, look, the Trump lovers are the Trump lovers. That's that. But I do
and the
think
Trump
that
haters are the Trump haters. Right?
Yeah.
The Trump haters are the Trump haters, too.
Yeah, but I don't think that everybody should just say haters. If we criticize him a lot, but can find something decent to say, that's not hating. I didn't give him an E yesterday. I wanted to, but I didn't.
Okay, tell me one good thing about Donald Trump.
One good thing about him. Well, I told you that I thought what he did with Phoebe in June. I thought that was good. I thought that was a wake-up call. I thought that
the attack on him, the initial attack on Iran.
Right, and they didn't know. They couldn't know for certain how successful it would be. Because, that's only been tested on computers and things like that, but it was excellent. It was executed perfectly. And I think that it woke people up. And I don't think that was bad. I think that was okay. I think this is a good decision that he made. I think that he did good to want to open up the border, to close the borders. I don't like how he executed it. I'm not angry with him about that. I'm angry about how he executed it. So, yeah, I can say that. About him personally, I think that he is a narcissist. He has personality defects. And they're closing in on him. And he's having when I read about this, is like what they call a narcissistic breakdown or a fallout. You've got somebody who's used to thinking that he's the best person in the whole wide world and nothing he does is wrong. He's the best, the smartest. And he took those 4 cognitive tests, which why did he need 4? But anyways, and now everything is coming down and he's not the best. And people are unhappy. And I don't think that he can handle that. I don't think he can handle that at all. And he's trying to hang on in different ways. I think you hear his speaking the other day, what he was supposed to be talking, I don't know who he was supposed to be talking to, but all of a sudden he's talking about all the wars that he won. And he was rapping the CNN reporter. I thought that was disgusting. He's telling the CNN reporter she's full of crap and she's ugly and she doesn't smile. Well, she's beautiful but doesn't smile, and then starts talking all about how great he is. So that's somebody who's just not.
I think we all agree there's a personality defect when he does these kinds of things. Even his greatest supporters would agree with you on that, I think.
And the staying up all night and having no control. I've said this the other day. We look at this and we think, oh my God, he's crazy. What we should be saying is, oh my God, he's telling us what we He's telling the truth. We know him. We know what this man thinks. Maybe that's not a bad thing after all, to know what he thinks. Instead of always going and saying, well, he probably didn't really mean that. Maybe he did. Maybe this is, in the middle of the night, this is what he thinks. And this is what, and that's it. So now we know him. We know everything there is to know about him. And it's pretty bad, that stuff. I just think it's pretty bad. And the cognitive tests, which, by the way, I hope that he doesn't mention Joe Biden anymore, because Joe Biden is dying, so I think that is, let's give him some respect there. But Trump is Trump. And I do believe if the Democrats keep it together, don't just listen to the old Democrats, Chuck Schumer guy. And I happen to be very interested in what Rahm Emanuel has to say, because he won't take crap from anybody, pardon me. And I hope, and I think he can direct them to stay on message. I think he can. And he's not going to say bad things about Israel. He can't, he just won't. And so I think that he can be a good voice for the Democrats, not necessarily the candidate, but I do think that he'd be a good person to help keep them on message. Is Marshall still there? Does he agree?
Who was the candidate?
No, I'm saying not the candidate. But that I think that his message, not go all the way to the left, and that he's not going to, he's going to help them stay on message. He's going to remind them. It's the
The more the message is Trump's a Nazi and he's shitty, the more people are going to go like, okay, what else do you have to offer me? You've been saying that for 10 years, and he's still president, so what's the point, right? If they focus on the economy, at least special election results show that if they focus on affordability, they tend to win more elections than they lose. When they start arguing about ancillary issues like Trump being evil or, essentially anything.
Run on that.
Yeah, essentially anything ancillary.
Impeachment.
No, I don't think they should either. Anything ancillary to the economy and to making life better for people, I think does the Democrats a disservice, right? If the National Party and the candidates choose to wed themselves and do themselves a disservice, then they will lose the election to Republicans who shouldn't be in office.
And I think that you can get the young people that you lost in New York, like the voters, like what you have in New York, you can get those young people back, or you can get young people interested. Once they realize, you know what, nobody gave you anything, you're not doing much better. You're not doing it, you don't have that $100,000 job that you wanted right out of college. So it is, I think that if they do this right, they'll get the young people back, younger voters, I think, because they are very much affected. And I don't think they should keep talking about impeachment. I hate that. I don't care whether we want to impeach him or not. You just don't run on that.
Thank you, Bill. We'll go to Andrew, followed by Pirate Ferry.
Good afternoon, Gary. I do have some hockey news for you.
Excellent.
Excuse me. My city here in Kitchener won the Memorial Cup, first time since 2003. That's the junior championships between East and West, if you will. They beat Everett, Washington, actually, 6-2 Sunday night. So that was cool, and my city was quite happy and proud of the Kitchener Rangers. Anyway, to the point of the room. Gas prices high. Food probably could be in jeopardy, perhaps. Other goods and services getting more expensive as we speak. So, this is long term. I don't think weeks is the word. I think it's months we're talking. Even if it were all to be reopened tomorrow, it would be months for this to filter back out of the calculation in the economy. But as far as the midterms are concerned, but I don't have much faith in the American people at this point, in their decision-making process and the critical thinking. And with regards to perhaps the fingers that are being inserted into the different states for the election in terms of gerrymandering. I think that bodes ill for the Democratic possibilities. It may backfire. Some have suggested that. I don't know. It'll be a wait and see thing. The thing that I think many people might be concerned about too is whether or not some of these ICE agents may be stationed at your booths, which could serve as a very much
Yeah, they explain they're not going to do that, but who knows?
Well, who knows? And that's something that if you look at it abroad, you wouldn't see in any of the purple democracies that I'm aware of. But maybe Hungary at one, I don't know. But and Poland perhaps during bad times. But these are concerning issues. But I don't know that it matters much to the average person. I suppose, I think the problem is more systemic than that. I've always been of the view that, when you put a politician in place, are they going to make my life better? It's not likely. And I think in the United States, it's exasperated to a large degree by the amount of money and special interest money that is involved in your politics. I think that skews the results. They may say one thing while they're on the stump, humping the stumps or whatever they call it. But certainly when they get into office, that door is opened and there are people in there with suitcases of money. So it's very discouraging. But yeah, I'll end there.
They give checks. They're not allowed to give suitcases full of money by law.
It's
You're not. If they walk into your office and they try to give you a suitcase full of $100,000, you have to. The law says you have to immediately turn it down because you can't accept it. But if they write you an individual contribution check of $5,000, you can take that. I agree with you on the special interest in particular, like PACs and super PACs, right? PACs do have to list where their money comes from, so you know who donated to what. A super PAC, however, you don't have to list your donors, so we don't know who's influencing American elections when super PACs demand. And I think, to your point, that is greatly distorting of the actual process.
It's distorting of the process and it's distorting the result. So when that person is in office or those people are in office, the decisions that they make, the laws that they pass or that they don't pass are influenced by that. And I think that's where it really becomes evident and most destructive.
Thank you, Andrew. Pirate Fury, followed by Stephanie.
Thanks, Gary. How's my volume?
Loud and clear. How's mine?
Very good. I just wanted to say, number one, I'm a huge Billy Joel fan also. Number two, I got an alert on my phone that Trump accepted an invitation to Game 3 of the NBA Finals in New York.
So we will see him in public.
That should be entertaining. And speaking of entertaining, you mentioned Joe Biden pardoning Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden activated his Twitter, and I would definitely recommend you going and checking out some of his tweets. It's definitely worth the price of admission.
More comedy, thank you. By the way, yesterday in front of Madison Square Garden, while the Knicks were playing in San Antonio, there was, of course, this big watch party outside the garden. And I don't know whether it really was officially a watch party or not, but there were a gazillion people out there cheering. And it was an exciting game and everything. But somebody came out with the dancing robots. And the robots dancing and dancing and dancing. And one of New York's finest walks up to the robot and slaps the cuffs on him. You're under arrest. It was hilarious. And he just did it, on a spur of the moment. So it was pretty funny to see. Don't worry, folks. No robots were harmed during the filming of the arrest. Stephanie, followed by Armies.
Hello. I am out watching non-pet food, and I accidentally pressed I don't know how I got up here. So I'll just say, not just the oil, petroleum, it's the fertilizer, it's everything else that the petroleum feeds and creates, and plastics, etc. I think farmers in the United States and other parts of the world are living a lot here. And then gas prices, yeah, I think that yeah, I agree with Andrew. I don't think it's going to be soon. I'm thinking we're in tomorrow. I think now the gas prices are going to go down until, I don't know, end of summer. If we never get to the early.
Stephanie, we're not, you got some problems with your modulation there. It's very muffled and low.
Can you hear me now? Is this better?
But
Okay, sorry. Okay, anyway, gas prices, I think, even if the war ends tomorrow, or the non-war, whatever they seem to call it, I don't think we'll see gas prices come down quickly at all. I agree with Andrew. And I was saying earlier that I think it's more about, it's not just about oil. I think it's about fertilizers and farmers and supply chain, all along the line, everything that petroleum feeds. And midterms. Well, I'm in California. We're still waiting for the results of our vote. I understand we're going to get a big vote drop tomorrow night. So hopefully a lot of some of these elections will be finalized. I'm thinking we probably will take the midterms. I think there's a lot of flux. I mean, there was in the news today what Trump is going to reopen 14 coal mines or something like that, an enormous amount of coal mines, and he's doing other bad environmental things, reversing, decades of U.S. progress in terms of environmental health, in terms of protecting the oceans, protecting our air, protecting our water. I mean, as far as I understand, the research has stopped on looking at plastics and PFAS in our water and all the studies on that to help us be healthier people. So I think besides that, and if the economy doesn't fix or get fixed, we are in for a flip on the midterms. I mean, one race in California in the Central Valley that I've been involved in against a many-term Republican congressperson who was running in this primary against a progressive Dem and a conservative Dem. And so far, the incumbent Republican is first, but the progressive Dem is second. This is in the Central Valley, red Central Valley. The conservative Dem came in low, and she was endorsed by the DCCC and other prominent left-wing endorsed her. Other prominent Republicans endorsed her, and conservative Democrats endorsed her, and she is coming in third. So I'm not thinking this is going to be, necessarily indication of progressive sweep or anything, but I do think it's an indication of if the Dems play it smart, they're going to take it. And I don't know if they have the discipline to play it smart, but I think if they do, they can take it. So, and I agree with whoever it was that listens to Rahm Emanuel. I listen to him too, and I think he's very right on most of the time. I think he wants to run for president, but I don't know if he can make it either.
I don't know, but he certainly is right about focusing on kitchen table issues for Democrats.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a super blue or a super red state where you are in a district that you can afford to talk about stuff that's not the 1, 2, or 3 on people's agendas, then, talking about how terrible Trump is and all that kind of stuff doesn't tend to win the day in competitive districts.
Yeah, I mean, what the studies show is that when you get into the voting booth or you're voting on your ballot at your kitchen table, that your emotion is really driving your vote. And secondarily, issues. So those two things have a kind of a complicated interplay.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that Ron Emanuel is emotionally, he doesn't resonate super strong, you know.
No, he's got instincts like a hawk, but I agree with you. His
Yeah.
emotional pull is not really big.
Yeah, but he's right on the issues, and so policy-wise, I don't know. I don't think he could probably swing it because of the emotional piece. But you know, I mean, you can just look at the candidates that ran for California governor. It just plays it right out there, you know. Katie Porter, emotional issues. Okay, we just can't deal with that, even if she has great policy. You know, Becerra was, you know, he's easy he can emotionally handle his personality. Steyer is more of a firebrand, more strident. And then Steve, the Republican, he is easy too. He's easy to listen to. He's articulate. He's you know, kind of easygoing. So emotionally, people resonate with him. But anyway, I think it's entertaining at the least. Not always fun to live it out, but
I agree with
entertaining from the argument.
I agree with that. It's not always fun to be in the middle of it, Stephanie. Sometimes it's really competitive.
Yeah, that's painful. I mean, a lot of this stuff is really painful in real life. So, you know, but I think that there's mounting bad things that are happening under the Trump administration. The list is getting longer and longer, and I think it's going to damage them in the midterms and probably next 2 years from now. Although I'm not going to make that assumption. I'm ready to keep fighting. Anyway.
Thank you, Stephanie. Mace, I think you're going to get the last word today, buddy.
Alrighty. I wanted to talk about the oil reserves. And I can talk from experience because I worked for 4 of the big oil companies in the U.S. in an IT department. And my ex-wife did all the accounting for Enron, Chevron, and many others. So I will say this, that technically we don't need oil. We have I'm talking about the U.S., right? The U.S. has massive oil reserves. The problem is that we've always taken the position of why use our own oil if we can just buy somebody else's and use theirs, right?
It's not just that, it's the kind of oil that comes out of the ground too. Some of the oil has to be refined to a greater degree, and so it's not super useful in the United States.
And of course, you know, we buy from everyone, including Mexico, right? So when I see our oil prices go up, and it has a direct result or connected with the wars that we participate in, it you know, I see reality where it's all about certain individuals, right, just making money at our expense. And when I say our expense, I'm talking about the American citizens, right? So we're paying high oil prices, gas prices at the pump, simply because somebody at the top, including Trump, they, you know, don't think for a second that Trump is not getting, you know, a piece of the pie there. And I guess all presidents have to.
Oil companies are slipping the guy a check.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called
lobbying.
lobbying.
What evidence do you have for that?
It's called lobbying. I will tell you
that's not bribery. That's covered under the First Amendment, applying to your government for redress.
I didn't say it was bribery.
Yes, but you said he got a check. If you give a guy a check,
that doesn't mean bribery.
My point is, Exxon is not sending Donald Trump a check personally. They pay taxes to the U.S. government, but they're not sending checks to Donald Trump.
The only way that his argument would hold water, and I have no idea what the president or his family members or his associates' investments are, is if he is manipulating the oil prices and they're getting advance notice of it and investing or de-investing based on that, but that would be speculative as well. I don't think anybody has been able to show that, at least not to my knowledge. How about to yours, Hermes?
Well, I will tell you this, a lot of stuff that our government does is not going to be publicly known, right? We should know that. We can't be, what's the word I'm looking for? We can't be ignorant to the fact that, or pretend that stuff like that does not go on. And I think that,
well, that may be, stuff like that may, stuff like that may go on, but you made a direct accusation, and if you make the accusation, it's incumbent upon you to back it up with facts. And I'm giving you a third time to come up with some facts.
I don't have any facts at this moment.
Then why would you say stuff like that? You do this a lot, and I don't understand.
Just because I don't have the fact in front of me.
Yes, it means it's not true. That's exactly what it means. It means you're giving your opinion about it, and your opinion, while you're allowed to have it, is only valuable when matched with facts, when you make declaratory statements about the way politics work. Like, you need to have facts for this stuff, bro. You can't just open your mouth and say that kind of stuff and expect people like me and Gary not to ask you where you got the information. And then when you say, I don't have the information, it's incumbent upon us then to say, okay, well, that's just your opinion, man.
Yeah.
And no, freedom of speech is about the government limiting your speech, not my opinion of your speech.
I don't believe that. I'm going to disagree. Let's agree.
Okay, read the First Amendment. The First Amendment says the government shall make no rule abridging speech. It doesn't say that in private conversations I can't ask you to be factual.
That Gary doesn't have the right to kick him off the stage. Go sue me for kicking you off the stage. I'd like to see you win on that one. Marcia makes a good point, and it's important that people recognize this. You do have a tendency to make declarative statements without information, and then you claim, well, it's true, I just don't have the information in front of me. But then on the occasions where you have been fact-checked, such as the president of Mexico's position on nuclear weapons, you have been proven wrong. Yeah. So all we're asking all we're asking is that when we invite you to the stage, which we will continue to do, you're a good contributor, that you do a little homework before you come. It's not that difficult today with the internet. Even in Mexico, I think you have access to the internet, right?
Of course.
Okay, because you're here. Because you're here with us now. So you could very well find something to substantiate the allegation that you just made against the president, at which point we're going to say, oh my, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Folks, we're here Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock New York time. So until 5 o'clock New York time tomorrow, for the next edition of the Critical Thinking Forum, everybody be safe, be well, and peace out.
in order for me to win this bet that we just made here, I just need one. Right? So that's why it's a good bet, and that's why I take the bet. I just need one.
Listen, I'm confident in white people.
That's what I'm